Hi, my name is Eric Daw from MomniFit, and today I got a great video. And this video is all about balance again. You folks probably are not sick of me talking about balance. And the main reason is it's so important for seniors. So when it comes to balance, why is this video important? Well, I'll tell you. Well, the main thing is we know that balance is important, whether we stand on one foot, whether we stand in a heel and toe or tandem stance. But it's also important because we need to integrate our senses in regards to balance. What I mean by our senses is our eyes, our ears, and our sense of touch are pivotal also in balance. So as I like to say, let's get into it. So folks, when it comes to senses, the ones we're not gonna focus on is taste, because we're not eating anything here. But what I am gonna focus on when it comes to balance is your sense of sight, your sense of hearing or vestibular, or your somatosensory or touch. They are actually so important because you need to work them interdependently and independently when you do your balance. So there's actually a test that has four stages using your senses and balance. So after we go through all of them, you folks can tell me how good is your balance. So when it comes to balance, we're gonna start from easiest to hardest. So we're basing all of these balance tests on being able to stand on one foot. So the first test is being able to stand with your eyes open. So that's our first sense of sight, and on a firm surface. So all of these tests, I want you to perform for 30 seconds on both feet. So not just your right leg, not just your left leg, but both. So for this first test, we're going to go on one foot and being able to stand on one foot with both eyes open. This one is actually using your sense of sight and at basically your sense of touch, or your sense of touch being the firm surface. So being in this position for 30 seconds, can you do right foot? Can you do left foot? Stage number one in terms of the 4 stages of balance test. So stage number 2, we use sight the first time. Now we're actually gonna take your sight away and use your other senses for balance, which is your vestibular or your ability to hear, or your hearing or your inner ear, as a way to get balance. So for this one, we're going back on one foot. Again, both left foot, right foot on a stable surface. But the main difference is we're gonna close both eyes, not one, not both. Can you keep your balance being able to stand on one foot with both eyes closed? What I would encourage you folks to do, if this is really tough, this is where you should stop right here and basically focus on the first stage of balance. And again, we want to do it on both feet, being able to stand on one foot for 30 seconds, both eyes closed. How well do you balance in this position, folks? How well can you keep your balance? As you notice, it's not easy. So this is stage number 2, being able to balance, both eyes closed on one foot. So the third stage to test how good your balance is to bring in a foam pad or something that's unstable, an unstable surface like I'm standing on. So just to review again, we first tested our eyes, then we tested our vestibular. Now we're actually gonna test our sense of touch. For this one, it's no different. We're actually gonna go ahead and stand on one foot again and be able to stand and keep your balance. What you'll notice immediately, because this is not a stable surface, it immediately challenges my sense of touch being able to stand on one foot. My eyes are open because this is not a vestibular test yet. I keep my eyes open, but I'm really testing my sense of touch. Same thing applies, 30 seconds on both legs. So folks, you may be saying, I don't have a foam pad, Eric. What do I do for this? Well, do you have a pillow? You could stand on something a little bit unstable. This is where I'd have you try something like that. And if this is really unsafe for you and you don't feel comfortable at all, don't do this test. Don't do any of them actually feel unstable, folks. But if you can, try to stand on something unstable like this. Another great alternative I'd actually tell you folks to do also to improve your sense of touch is to practice your balance exercises with very little on your feet, barefoot even if possible. this actually gets the little muscles on your feet to work more. But this is just a test for now. Test number 3. So last but not least, and the most difficult, and again, folks, I'd only encourage you to do this if you feel your balance is pretty good and you just want to test it. We're actually going to test our vestibular, and we're going to test our sense of touch. And to do that, we're going to keep our eyes closed and stand on an unstable surface. So for this one, it's tough. So how well can you stand for 30 seconds? My eyes are closed and I'm on an unstable surface. And this one, you'll notice immediately I'm in a much more difficult position being able to do this exercise. You'll notice that this is much more difficult. And I'm gonna keep my eyes open because I don't want to fall down. But you folks can immediately see when I incorporate different senses in balance, how it makes it immediately much more challenging. And actually is really good because we need all of our senses when it comes to balance. So folks, what do you think about these 4 tests for balance? They're not easy, are they? They're really for people who want to actually improve their balance if they think they're already pretty good. These are actually tests that actually take it to the next level. If you're someone that struggles with balance already, look at my previous videos when I talk about earlier or easier ways to start your balance. These are probably more appropriate. But if you can do these tests, I'd love to hear what you folks think about it in the comments below. We know balance is essential for seniors, and this is how we're going to continue to improve it and push the envelope. On that note, folks, please like and subscribe. This is Eric Daw from MommyFit. Take care.